Uh, Mr. Songonye Kontombake, Ninara, greetings to you. Na-
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's definitely a pleasure to be here with you today. And Assalamu alaikum to all your viewers and followers.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, I don't know whether we should be speaking Mandinka or Wolof with the English.
We can jahas bahas it because
Okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
cannot speak well, but then munna suma sister mari mung ma living mung ma jangal. Why?
Binga wahe ne munarek, binga wahe munarek, so fufu mungkin. Level be egana. Ali,
Mari mo ba
walaikum salam.
negative? Why the paper law?
Okay, why Mr. Sonko, come, Lumoko Dewa is Asuneke, thank you very much. This Buna invite, sorry, by mom, Wanili. I'm gonna, guys, Sonko Kundai, from you Terulen in a professional way, in a very nice way. So, Mota on Madele is as much as any mommy.
Good.
But thank you very much. Buñ la invité mun naa woon ne buñ la ko waxee yàggut waaye suñu waxee affaire Gambia rek dang dee waaye everything nga uyu si so ñu ngi laa woon ne a very big thank you to you. So first of all tamit ñu ngi laa wax ne welcome si suñ plateforme bi plateforme boo xam ne la daal ñun Gambia moo ñu ñor loo xam ne fi Gambia la rek dañ si dee bugg a dem ba jeex though nekkut a big platform waaye nag we trying our best to be there. Okay, first of all, ma bàyyi la nga nuyu suma gaay yi bari comme yaa fo ñaami na doro mandika kawo angale wo suruwao mbabire fo la jantu parce que mbe min fo kambi hani fulo ni manjako ni fenko ni safo no fan safo parce que bi mbe min fo ka wolen gambiat nin ko gambia dum wo gambia no be dawdan to duro no gambia siol siatare gambia no be dawdan to duro mbeten na gambia no be problem ko duro mbe o gambia non na min mi dum yalon ko ya sembo soto isi mako ro keno nyamina mbe wol fana la le so wala tinna bi mbe dula mbe kamo be fo la le nin se min fo no so welcome ngebele ni mo le nyokonto.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, my dear brother and comrade, Badu. It is definitely a pleasure joining you here today. Like you said, I think we will mix the languages because for me it's always a problem in my even my own platform or other interviews. People will always say speak our local language, but then when you speak Mandinka, there are other hundreds of Gambians who cannot understand you, who did not get what you're trying to say. So
That's true.
basically, it's always a big challenge when we are offering interviews or when we are talking about issues concerning Gambians in diaspora. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, for those who did not know me, I am Yahya Sonko, a Gambian, of course, by nationality. When I said Yahya Sonko, I
Mm-hmm.
am originally from Nyomi, Berendi. Yeah, I am living in Germany. In Germany, I am known as a migration activist, migration
Mm-hmm.
and human rights activist. I have been doing this work for almost 7 years now, more than 7 years now, almost to 8 years now. And through my work as a migration and human rights activist, I Alhamdulillah, I achieved a lot of things. You know, I am part of some organizations and associations with regards to African migrants in Germany. You know, for 2 years I represent West African migrants in the Refugee Council of Baden-Württemberg as special Inarat. That is one of the speakers. I was elected to mount this role, and yeah, I am uh, executive member of few associations, migrant associations in Germany, and yeah, I try to equally develop myself here. I at least do a vocational training called Ausbildung in social work and
Mm-hmm.
kinderpädagogik, and yeah, I did a lot of I did a lot of capacity building trainings on migration, you know, through EU, IOM, GIZ. These are all international organizations. In one way or the other, they trained me, and I paid some courses for myself because migration is my passion. I definitely want to follow this route. I believe that I know a lot about it, and equally, I always want to share this experience, this knowledge, this little knowledge of mine, with my fellow Gambians. Because of all these things I am talking about, yeah, Alhamdulillah again, kind of recognized by EU, Germany, and of course the Gambia government, because they do engage me in so many issues and I challenge them in so many issues, and I am always in lockerhead with them, foreign affairs, interior, and government as a whole when it comes to migration and issues of Gambians. So yeah, here in Germany also, I have some privilege, because it's a privilege.
Yeah.
Privilege. I have some connections with top German government officials.
Mhm.
I am in contact with few ministers in Germany, which they do consult me too with regards
Mhm.
to issues about Gambia and Gambians.
Mhm.
And yeah, I met many, almost all the top politicians now in Germany and in EU with
Mhm.
regards to migration and with regards to Gambia. Gambia is a small country, but then we are very noisy, because of that noisiness, that I think that always give me the chance, however small we are, even our numbers,
Mhm.
when you heard about Gambia, Nigerians are, we have more Nigerians in Germany than Gambians.
Of
We have
course,
more
yeah.
Eritreans in Germany than Gambians. I
Of
can
course.
count countries, but then yet still we are small but very noisy. And because of this, we give a lot of tough time to politicians,
Mhm.
and our noisiness is both sides. We
Mhm.
have, advantage of it and disadvantage of it. There are
Mhm.
good side of it and bad side of it too.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So all these things, politicians here in Baden-Württemberg, more especially in Baden-Württemberg. I met the Prime Minister of Baden-Württemberg. I was invited to his office two
Mhm.
times. And I enjoyed him so many times by sending him letters, and sometimes I got replies.
Mhm.
And a few ministers, the current Germany I mean the central government of Germany in Berlin. I'm in
Mhm.
contact with three ministers: interior, integration, and social welfare. So
Mhm.
basically, all these things are privileged. But then, because of the little effort I am giving to
Mhm.
Gambia and Gambians, I think that is why. So it's because of Gambian. So basically, I am here today, and you can ask me anything. Inshallah, I will
Mhm.
give my best to answer
Mhm.
your questions,
Mhm.
yeah, detailed, inshallah. You're welcome, bro.
Okay, thank you very much, Sonko. I'm so happy that Gambia government recognize your work. Yeah, you said it. So I would love to ask more question about this migration when it comes to Gambia government. Yeah, but first of all, if you say migration, activists in migration, what does this mean? And is it something that you learned from the school, or is it something you started since in the Gambia?
Well, migration, migration is a big topic, and it's very, very detailed. Sorry, somebody is calling me in case if you're not hearing me. It's very, very detailed. And
Mhm.
uh, I did not learn migration in Gambia. In Gambia, I was a teacher.
Mhm.
I went to Gambia College, then I was a teacher for 4 good years in Gambia, then I traveled, So I started this in early 2016,
Mhm.
in Milano. I received my first training as a migration expert in Milano. That was in February, February 2016. So I attended a 6-month program through one international organization in Milano called Onlus Integra. So,
Mhm.
but then to talk about what is my activism, it's like basically
Mhm.
it is to help my fellow Gambians to understand, when I say to help my fellow Gambians, most of the Gambians, statistically, 75% of the Gambians in Germany or in Europe are asylum seekers, statistically. So when we talk about asylum, this is also very detailed. So here what I do or what I try to do is to help my fellow Gambians to understand what is asylum. Most of us, will travel. Most of us either regularly or irregularly. When I said regular or irregularly, regular means you travel through a visa, through regular means, go through embassy process, they issue you visa, you travel through flight, to make it simple. Irregular means some of us who went through this back way, from Gambia, Senegal, it goes like that. Or you use the Mediterranean Sea to get to Europe. That is irregular migration. So when we get here, either regular or irregular, most of us will because we want to stay. And Europeans are not giving us that chance. Even they issue you visa, but then usually it's just visit visas, tourist visas, stuff like that. Very rare. When you look at EU as a visa system, which I even have a data about. When you look at their visa system, you know, very few Gambians got permanent stays. Usually that will be when you have a family. Not even those who are coming to study. Those who are coming to study are given timeline. If you finish your study, usually you need to go back. So basically, what do happen is Gambians will want to come. Even we visit visas regularly, but then they want to extend it to stay, to overstay. Those who come through back way irregularly, again they all want to stay. So meaning, what next for them? Most of them most likely do seek for asylum. So when you seek asylum, most of us, Gambians are usually never prepared for asylum. Very few Gambians will from the Gambia have this view that I'm going for asylum. This is my story, and this is how I want to narrate it. No, usually very few. So usually they all just come here and start asking each other, how is asylum in this country? How does it work? What should be my story? They even usually pick each other's story. So basically, as a activist, we try to help guide and counsel our fellow Gambians about their asylum stories. We are not experts in it, okay, but what we try to do is, at least we learn a little bit about these asylum issues. We I'm in contact with a lot of lawyers. I attended a lot of court sittings. Okay, I received a lot of letters about asylum. I at least got some capacity building training in asylum. So when I listen to your story, okay, as an actor, when I listen to your story, I know this is a good story and this is a bad story. And in your story, sometimes there are loopholes. We try to guide and counsel you through those loopholes. We try to at least tell you, reason so and so is good, or evidence so and so, something like. So this is how that's one part. Another part is, still again, when they seek asylum, some are rejected. Not even some. According to EU, 78% of Gambians statistically asylums are rejected or will be rejected because after dictatorship they consider Gambia has a so-called safe country of origin, means we don't have a big issue in our country, to make it simple. Okay, so what I try to do, or what we try to do is, or Europe, there are asylum laws and asylum acts, but then in individual states or countries also there are integration laws and integration regulations. Okay, so and all these things are laws. So laws are too big. So usually there are asylum laws. Usually when you go through your asylum, when you are rejected, they ask you to go, automatically they will give you 3 weeks or 1 month to ask you to leave Germany or other countries, to leave, to go back. Okay, but then there are other integration laws or integration regulations when you can have chance or you can follow, that can oversight, or can defeat these asylum laws sometimes. And so we try to push most of the Gambians to that part. Yes, they reject Mr. Sonko. Yes, they reject your asylum. How many years are you here? Some will say that I'm here now for 3 years, 4 years. Okay, now your asylum is rejected. What you can do is, like we look at your integration level too. Are you going to school? Yes. You have what is the language? What is your language level? Here is my language level. Then we try to guide you through our office. We can, look if you can get into house building. That is vocational training. Okay, that is vocational training, or we can try to at least look a job for you. Here is Germany, job are everywhere. Okay, but there are those small things, because when you get a job, you are here for 1 year. With a duldum, you have a duldum, that is toleration. You have a duldum, you get a job. We can try to help you with the Shaftikon duldum. You know what that means. You are in German. If you have the Shaftikon duldum, that means it is a toleration for 30 months. So as soon as you have this, that means you are guaranteed to stay in this country for 30 months. What is 30
Yeah.
months? 2 years, 6 months. Okay, so in that 2 years, 6 months, like Mandinka say, Alakunda Okonal. Okay, so there are so many things we try to do. We try to push them into house building. As soon as you get house building, that's bedeutet, du bist geduldet for 3 Jahre. You are tolerated to stay for 3 years.
For 3 years, yeah.
And immediately, if you finish that 3 years of house building successfully, we can apply, do a application for you for paragraph 25B. Okay, so many things through our activity we do.
Okay,
Not only that.
Mr. Sonko, sorry here. You've mentioned something very important here about house building, because I had few months ago or a month ago, I heard that someone was deported and this person was doing house building. Whether this thing is true or not. So if this is true, what do you think is the cause of it?
Okay. Usually, yes, I also had stories like this. But then what I always tell my fellow Gambians is that, if any Gambian, and I am again using this platform and this opportunity to speak to my Gambian brothers and sisters, if you know any Gambian who is doing house building without committing crime free, you know, I have a reason why I said crime free. Some people might be doing house building. People don't know that this is a law. And Germans, yes, I know they try everything, every means. My activism, I base it on facts and laws. Germans or EU, they try everything, any small loopholes to deport us.
Yeah.
But then, if you have a house building, you did not commit any crime. I see no reason why German will deport you, because they are going against their own law. If any Gambian, I am using this opportunity to talk to my brothers and sisters. If you know any Gambian who is doing a house building without a crime and he is in deportation camp, or they are trying to arrest him, or they are trying to deport, or he is already deported, please report this case to us. I promise you with 100%, you know, responsibility that this person will come back if he is deported. If he is here, if he is in prison, he should be leave. He should be free rather. Okay, because then the state is working against their own laws. Okay, yes, I understand there are few cases that people are doing house building and they get deported, but there is always a background story that people outside don't know. I heard about these cases. I have heard about 6 cases of this. But when people like us who want to push, like when we had this thing, we want to see the end of it. We fight for it. We take sometimes you even go to court and police will bring a file that Yaya Sonko is never aware of, because the brother that I am trying to help always will tell me that I did nothing wrong. So basically, all the people that they deported doing house building, let nobody quote me wrong. Anybody who is deported with house building, because it is a law. If you are doing it, you are safe. So if they deport any Gambian or any individual doing house building back to Gambia, There must be something. If there is nothing, then that deportation is illegal. Yeah. So basically, usually they should not deport you if you are doing house building and you committed no crime.
Okay. Okay, but Mr. Sonko, if you say illegal, if they deport someone who is doing house building, then these people they doing something that is illegal. But I saw one video whereby I don't know, deportation camp. These police are beating these people, dragging them down, and we all know those kind of things are all illegal. Yeah. So if you say illegal about this deportation thing, I will, it will be something that I will not understand because I think
Yes.
sometimes we we do something that is illegal, but the government also do some things that are also illegal.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. You are
So
very right. Okay. Come. Sorry.
so what can you say about this thing? When you say illegal, is it something that these people are always doing something that is illegal?
No. My brothers, my
Mhm,
Gambian brothers, they are doing their utmost best in Germany to stay
mhm,
peaceful, to respect laws, and
mhm,
of course the regulations. Yes, when I said illegal, here I am talking about, I mean, I'm even against the government. If Germany deported any Gambian who is
mhm,
doing Auschwitz
mhm.
without committing any crime, then that deportation is illegal.
Okay,
Yes, that's what I mean. So
understood. Yeah.
I am not talking about my brothers, but and equally, you talk about how they drag and how they arrest our people, how they maltreat them. This
Mhm,
we are completely against this, and this is one of my fights currently with my government. That is the Gambia government. You know, uh, Mr. Kuyate, you and I cannot stop that. The people who should stop that should be, let's call a spade a spade. Let's stop beating the bush. The people the people entirely responsible
mhm,
for this act of irresponsible behavior of European authorities or
mhm.
European police is our government. It's
Okay,
not.
Mr.
It
Sonko,
has
Mr.
been
Sonko.
reported not once, not two times, not three times by victims themselves. When I mean victims, the deportees themselves,
Mhm,
they always explain, complain how they are maltreated or were maltreated during the process of deportation. You and I cannot stop that because
mhm,
usually we are never at the airport or at the during the process of deporting them. So the people who should stop that nonsensical act of Europeans is our government. It's our government that should take it in their own hand to challenge European Union, to challenge EU about this. That look, you are deporting our citizens. We are receiving them, but then treat them as human beings. We don't want to hear or we don't want to continue to have complaints that our citizens are getting maltreated during the process of deportation. And just before I I come back to you ask another question. Some will say, some authorities, even Germans, will say that during the process, if we try to arrest them, if they insist, we use force. But look, they are police officers. They are well trained. They should know better. Look, you don't expect to come to me, Mr. Sonko, to arrest me, to take me back to Gambia. And you expect me to be there laughing at you or laughing with you. No way. I will be sad. I will be traumatized. I will be afraid. I will be angry. So I will react. So my reaction did not mean I am rude. My reaction did not mean I am offending or I am a criminal. No. My reaction is based on reasons that I don't want to go home simply. It's never my wish. You are taking me out of my wish. So basically, those reactions you should police and any authority going to arrest Gambians should definitely expect that. But that should not vindicate or that should not make the German police to act brutally. They should be more professional. They should be more trained. In fact, they should know better how to handle them in that situation. in the process of deporting them. So definitely this is a no-go area. Our citizens should not be maltreated. Our citizens should not be brutalized during the process of deportation. We should all be against that.
Okay, Mr. Sonko, talking about our cockroaches, mean our government, I have 150 problem or questions about them. Those people, I will come to them later. But right now, I want to remain in Germany right now here. Okay, Mr. Sonko, as an activist, and you know something about asylum and asylum seekers, what are the chances of Gambians in that land here?
The reality about Gambia is this. From 1994 to 2016, let me even say from 2000 to 2016, Europe and the world consider Gambia as that we were in dictatorship. When Jammeh left, during the time and era of Jammeh, the reality is Jammeh gave tough time to Europeans, more especially European Union, with regards to deportation, with regards to cooperation, with regards to taking Gambia government, the Jammeh government taking its responsibilities in terms of migration or whatsoever. Jammeh never, allowed such stuffs. He gave tough time. His government gave tough time to Europeans. So of course, the world, EU, UN, Amnesty International, they all says Jammeh, officially Gambia was in dictatorship. It was an era of dictator. Because of this, Gambians at the time got more chances in terms of asylum than now. And in those days, if you are here, you make a claim that you got a problem with the system, or you were you just attach your story to Jammeh or his era or his government. Europeans do listen to you. You are given that chance to be listened to. You are given that chance to maneuver through the system. But then to make it short, after Jammeh era, EU was part of our change because they helped Gambia in that change, in that system change. When Gambians vote against Jammeh era, when Gambians vote against Jammeh, okay, Jammeh was out, EU was happy. Okay, EU supported. That was when the European Union started going to Gambia. That was when the European Union started to talk to the coalition 2016. Okay, they support them financially. They support them in so many aspects. Probably we will get to that. Financially, pledges and stuff like that. So yes, because of this, they said EU said that Gambia have a system change. We have a democracy government, a new democracy. Okay, so basically, what does that mean? Before you can come here and claim that I had a problem with the government, or had a problem with my family even, or had a problem, before they can listen to you, they can even give you chance to stay here. Because at the time, European Union or the world says that even our court systems are injustice. They are not fair. You go to court, people knows nothing will come out of it. But then now, a classical example is in Kalshua. I attended a court in Kalshua. It was so funny, a judge, a German judge, told a Gambian and with his lawyer that because his case, this Gambian case was, he explained his story is like, he got a problem with the system. The government. So, so he explained everything. His lawyer tried to defend it. When the judge was giving his whatsoever, like closing whatsoever, what the judge said was, look, it was so funny. The judge quoted 3 cases against the government in Gambia. So telling that Gambian brother in court and with his lawyer that, look, Gambia now, they have a good court system. They have, at least when you go to court. So look, I will advise you still to go back to your country, which means you will be deported back to your country. When you go back to your country, take that matter to court. Okay? Your country has that mandate, your court has that mandate to decide on your case now, not the Jama to decide. If your court decided that government offended you or offended your family, you will be compensated. So you are still free. You are still okay. So if you are here, we compensate you, nothing comes out of it. So basically, so I am just trying to explain you how Europeans now view Gambia as a democratic state. Okay, and so many cases. So you now cannot come to Germany and claim that soldiers will arrest you, or you will be you are maltreated or something like this. So quotable before and now is completely different. So basically what I'm trying to say here is the asylum for Gambians in Europe before is good, but now they will listen to you because that is your right. They will not tell you don't seek for asylum because that is your human right. They don't violate that. But then for them, for the decision is also in their hand. Okay, so basically 95% of Gambian asylum seekers here, they are rejected or will be rejected. So we got no chances. But what I usually tell our fellow Gambians is, if you come to Germany, you want to stay, or you come to Europe now, you want to stay, what you need to do is you should concentrate on integration or going to school.
Okay, Mr. Sonko, thank you very much for that. But I have another important question. That is, you see many Gambians with this duldul, yeah? So people will duldul. What advice do you have for them? Because some will say that, okay, they will ask them about their passport and other things. They will bring those passports. So as an activist and somebody who knows about these things, what is your take on this?
Look, majority of Gambians in Germany are with Duldo.
Yeah.
So it's important we understand what is Duldum. Duldum, in a simple language, means you are tolerated to stay in our country till we get to deport you back. That is the simplest definition of Duldum. Stay, wait for us till we get you back to your country. That is what is Duldum. But equally, there are different Duldums. Okay. There is Duldung Light, there is Beschäftigung Duldung, there is Ausbildung Duldung, and they are better than each other. One normal Duldung, you are not safe. You are just sitting and waiting for them till any time they need you. Okay, so what your question is, what advice? So my advice to my fellow Gambian brothers: take this to your bank. If you are in this country, they give you duldung, and duldung is when your asylum is rejected. If you seek for asylum, as soon as you are called for interview, you did your interview, and you get your results back after your interview. If the results is negative, means if they reject your asylum, your Auslander Behörde will call you to go to change your house files. Because if your asylum process is on, you have this normal green house files. But as soon as your asylum is rejected, they call you, they usually send you a letter to go to your Auslander Behörde. That day, they will take that green house files from you and they will give you duldum. You will see a red line on top of your house files automatically, and they write their duldum. Automatically means you are tolerated, okay, till they need you. So when you are tolerated, here now my advice is, very good question you ask. It depends also how many years are you here in Germany with that, okay. So if you are here for some certain time, you get duldu. If you survive that duldu for 12 months, usually what I advise my brothers, and I did this several times and I succeeded with my brothers and sisters. If you have that duldu for